Hello everybody, my name is Coolblue and I bring you guys this game in the Join Dota League. This is a Division 1 game of MY Insanity versus Denali Esports. So we'll see some amazing things happen and stream up in 2 minutes. Alright, just gotta make sure everybody knows that I had to restart stream for a 2-minute delay. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this game on the road. We have ourselves the bands of Witch Doctor, wow, wrong person. We have ourselves the bands of Brewmaster, Death Prophet, Viper, and Skywrath Mage. So I'm expecting to see some really cool things go through for these guys. Basically, Death Prophet really makes the game kind of boring. Brewmaster, he just kind of team fights. He just dominates team fights for no apparent reason. Skywrath Mage is really annoying with the silences and stuff, so I do understand that to a certain extent, but I don't think he was more important than Batrider. Speaking of Batrider, he gets banned out by Denali Esports anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The last game around that we saw Denali Esports. They had a nice lineup. MY Insanity had a better lineup. If I recall correctly, Denali Esports were on the dire side, and their lineup, they had a Batrider that helped them out control the tempo once the mid game started, but they had a Gyrocopter and a Faceless Void who couldn't carry hard enough versus the Morphling and a Lifestealer, and it's just by the looks of it, it seemed like Morphling became too big. They were spending a little bit too much time trying to kill those tanky supports like Ogre Magi and Jakiro, which were the 2 supports for MY Insanity, of course. And it just got to a point where basically it just didn't matter. They lost too much by the time both Faceless Void and Gyrocopter got online. So, continuing on to this game though, we see the bans go along the lines of Death Prophet, Brewmaster, Ogre Magi, Phantom Assassin. I'm actually a little bit surprised about the Phantom Assassin ban. I didn't really think she would have been that great versus a Legion Commander. I think a Legion Commander can actually hold her down too much. And also, the fact that people don't really understand with Legion Commander is that when Legion Commander does pop her duel, she will always hit you. It doesn't matter if you have a Ghost Scepter, it doesn't matter if you have evasion, her attack will always hit you. So that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. So evasion gets cancelled out. So that means Phantom Assassin versus Legion Commander. Legion Commander should be able to hold her own pretty darn well. She does have to be very careful with the crits, because crit is a giant chunk of damage, whereas Pressy attack is a nice regen over time. So the crit from Phantom Assassin would be really nice, but on the same token, I don't think she would have been that big of a deal for letting Denali Esports get. Anywho, all that aside, on the Denali Esports side of bans, we see the Viper, Skywrath Mage, Batrider, and Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor being banned out because his aptitude to do a whole bunch of damage is very high. Also, once again, another thing a lot of people don't even consider for some reason. Another thing is that Witch Doctor is really good versus Wisp +1 combinations. Basically, Wisp and +1 combinations, Wisp Tiny, Wisp Finn, Wisp Gyrocopter, Wisp Ricky, whoever you want to throw out there, they like to relocate in together and, you know, try to kill you together. And there's this little thing called Casket that Witch Doctor has that like to bounce on people who stay together. So it is really effective versus something like a Wisp. So I do in fact like that ban from Denali Esports. I think that's a very intelligent ban, considering that they have a Wisp and they need to empower the Wisp by make sure nothing really counters it. Speaking of empowering people, Venomancer does get picked up in Ancient Apparition, so I'm expecting a lot of damage over time. I'm starting to think that MY Insanity kind of want to go for a more sustained teamfight type thing. They want the teamfight to last as long as possible to make their effects that much more devastating. Legion Commander to me does a lot more damage the longer the fight goes on, the longer she stays alive, because those freaking moment of courages happen a little bit too often for my liking. It does do a whole bunch of damage relative to her right click, of course, and also if we can get her snowballing on down the road and get a whole bunch of easy duels victories, we can just see ourselves in a very bad situation when the team fights are sustained, because she just has that much damage. A moment of courage is basically a free right click plus lifesteal for her of 80%. It's ridiculous. Whereas you have Ice Blast, of course, Ancient Apparition throws Ice Blast, Venomancer drops his ult, you can easily get a kill on top of that, so nice little Wannabe cannabis going on. Also, another thing I want to point out before you guys point it out is that it's My Insanity. I just realized that, not MY Insanity, so yeah, Coolblue. Typical Coolblue. Yep. Anywho, Tyrant gets picked up by Denali Esports, so teamfight looks like to be the definition. I'm a little bit concerned though. I'm a little bit concerned now, because I think Denali Esports might be basing their team lineup around too much around teamfight and not enough around trying to protect somebody. For protect one strategies to generally have, you know, like somebody who ganks really well, some supports who can, you know, one support that can keep the carry alive, and then another support that might be, you know, buying all the wards, or the offlane that buys all the ward, or whatever lineup you want to have. Just a lineup where you basically have somebody who's dedicated to like doing a whole bunch of ganking, another support that can probably support them in their ganking, plus somebody who plays the offlane and the mid who does well. In the case that we see right now, we see Wisp plus Tidehunter, that tells me that these guys want to be more so, we want to try to cut you off, piece you down, and go for a more gank type lineup, where they have the Wisp and relocate in with maybe, I don't know, whoever they decide to go for the last one, maybe Tidehunter even. And they basically just try to go for a whole bunch of fights, or ganks plus team fights, which the more team fight based you are, I think the worse your 4 Protect 1 lineup is. But as theory crafting, it doesn't really mean that's true. That's just how I feel about it. Speaking of how I feel about things, Weaver gets picked up for Down Esports, and I actually feel really good about that pick. I like Weaver versus Legion Commander. I don't think Weaver can survive a duel versus Legion Commander, but Weaver does naturally build a very good item versus Legion Commander, which is in fact a Lincoln Sphere. So the Lincoln Sphere build on Denali Sports Weaver is going to be a definite thing. We're going to see a Lincoln Sphere this game. The question is, will he get it soon enough to make sure that Legion Commander can't kill him, or will Legion Commander be able to pick off the stupid bug before he can actually get to it? So I think as we go along, this pickup from Denali Esports is pretty nice, because I mentioned before that my Insanity want to go for more sustained type team fights. If we do end up in a situation where team fights are staying for too terribly long, Weaver will be able to have the advantage, because one thing that Weaver likes to do a lot is he likes to Sakuchi around and do a bunch of damage. Oh my gosh, we got an Anti-Mage pickup. Anti-Mage versus Weaver versus... Anti-Mage versus Weaver and Razor. I like Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is a good pick. Anti-Mage doesn't give us jack squat about what Razor does. Razor has a bunch of abilities that might be able to nuke you down. Razor can steal your mana, or steal your damage, but he can't take your mana break. And I think Mana Break is going to be a thing that's going to destroy Razor's face. So I think Razor right now is dead weight. Also, Anti-Mage versus Tidehunter is really fun, because Anti-Mage blinks in, pops a Manta style, Tidehunter loses all his mana after, like, you know, sneezing for a quick second. And Anti-Mage gets an easy kill. The question really is, how are these guys going to utilize a Wisp right now? You have Anti-Mage, who's very mobile. You have Legion Commander, who probably will build a Blink Dagger this game. Rubik will probably build a Blink Dagger this game. We have a lot of people who can just jump on top of you and just do disgusting things to you, which means that the more people who can just jump in and quickly get a kill without you noticing it, that's the less aggressive you can be with your relocate, because a lot of times you have to save it just to keep your carry alive, or you might have to use it just to try to relocate in to turn the fight or make the fight even for 14 seconds. And that's not the way you want to have a Wisp be used. You usually want to have a Wisp be used on like a 4 Protect 1 strat, where you have a carry farming all by himself, and then you have everybody else trying to push a lane. You just relocate in, kill the carry, go back in, defend your tower, and you win the game as you do that over time more efficiently. With this specific lineup, Anti-Mage is a relatively survivable carry versus a relocate gank. That's a fantastic, nice little pickup. Legion Commander, she'll probably die to a relocate gank. She'll probably die to a relocate gank, but on the same token, at the very least, she'll be able to just blink through and possibly survive because of press the attack. Jesus, she'll probably be able to survive because of press the attack. She might be able to blink away just in time with some HP left. Ancient Apparition and Venomancer will probably die a lot. I'm expecting to see Ancient Apparition at least explode like 10 times. So, calling it out, guys, 10 times for Ancient Apparition. Put your money on the table. But as far as Venomancer goes, I think Venomancer should be okay. It really depends on if they decide to play a mid Venomancer, which it looks like that might be the lineup. Anti-Mage playing that carry role. Venomancer playing mid. Legion might be in the jungle. Legion might be in the safe lane. It really depends. Really depends on how they decide to line it. But if they do go for a tri-lane type thing, where they have Ancient Apparition, Rubik, and Anti-Mage just abandon one of the off lanes completely, that could be pretty nice too. Let's have to wait and see. Bane does get picked up. Bane is a nice person versus Legion Commander 2. So Legion Commander has two people who are built to counter her. Also, Bane is nice versus Anti-Mage in general, because he pops his Fiend's Grip. Anti-Mage can't do anything, can't blink, can't think, pretty much gets killed. And if you do drain enough of his mana, Anti-Mage becomes more or less a walking creep with some cool blades and a mohawk. So intelligent picks for what they're facing up against. I do like the fact that they're adjusting their picks by the looks of it. The Wisp pickup, I don't think she'll be as strong as she would normally be in the game, but Wisp Weaver can still be a thing. Free tether stuns, or tether slows, I guess. That'll be the best possible thing I could think of coming out from that. I hear a lot of noise. Things are happening. Something's happening outside. Somebody's dying. Alright guys, get ready for your momentary pause, because Cool Blue's about to do introductions and somebody's gonna break something. What? No pause? No pause? I'm offended. I am offended. No pause? Anyway. Let's go and do introductions. Start off on the side of Denial. On this Wisp, we have ourselves Krioj. Moving over to this Weaver, we see ourselves Jorval. Oh, my bad. Let's do this professionally. We see Jorval on that Weaver. looks very disgusting, actually. Kill it. God, kill it, please. Oh, God, it looks horrible. Moving on to this Tidehunter. We see ourselves Paris on that Tide. And on this Razor, we see ourselves Funzy on that Razor. And last but not least, of course, on this Bane, looking all derpy as he normally does. Just look at him. Look at him. Just look at him derping around the corner. Don't even know where to go. Looking like an old man. We see ourselves fucking mad on that Bane. Moving over to the side of MYI on this Rubik, we see ourselves Hatawa, playing that very important role of support. That's right, guys, most important role in the world. Moving on to this Ancient Apparition, we see ourselves Lizard on that Ancient Apparition. On this Anti-Mage who's going to be getting all that farm, we see Grinzies, and they are going to be going for a tri-lane. Looks like an aggressive tri-lane at that. They are heading up top. Actually, we might be seeing ourselves engaged. We got, oh man, we got Bane in a little bit of trouble. First point, mana break picked up for Anti-Mage, so no blink for him, but a lot of damage coming towards Bane already. That's also like 3 right clicks plus a telekinesis. That is pretty darn good. If they had a follow-up stun, it would be pretty nice. Oh yeah, right, Chilling Touch. Looks like they only got to use none of the right clicks for Chilling Touch, so sadly Lizard wasn't ready. Had his pants down. It's kind of creepy. Don't really want to know he has down there. Moving on to this Venomancer, we see Million on that Venom, and of course on this Legion Commander playing that offlane / possibly jungle. We see Zamaja is Baraza, but Banara. Alright, anyway. Enough shenanigans. We see a nice little fight happen already. Bane gonna be the first one to go down. Anti-Mage has this level 1 mana break, so he's looking to be Battle Mage right now. He is Battle Mage. He is looking to be trying to get himself First Blood. First Blood did in fact go to Rubik, if I'm not mistaken, so he did get the last hit on top of Bane. Sadly, Bane has nothing but nothing but Brain Sap. He can go ahead and use that just to keep himself sustained, but it's only as useful as well, not really that useful, especially if these guys have a little bit of aggression, which they do have aggression on the side. Weaver actually coming back from the side. He did decide to go ahead and rotate towards the side for some reason. I want to say he was running away from the engagement that was happening, and he is just returning back into his lane. So as the lanes line up, we got a tri-lane with Bane plus Weaver. I'm actually not very happy about that. I think it should be a tri-lane down bottom with Tidehunter. I mean, it won't be as, I guess, you won't guarantee the farm of Weaver as much because there is a Centaur placed up top, and they do need to be very careful about that. But on the same token, at the very least, you can get some kills on top of Legion Commander. Legion Commander will probably eventually just back out. Oh man, speaking of backing out, Bane coming into a bad situation, going to be forced to use a Brain Sap, running away as fast as possibly can. Here comes the damage coming out from Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage has his blink already. He's not going to be able to actually get anything. Anti-Mage picking up the last hit. Weaver in a little bit of trouble. Sakuchi's up in 4 seconds. Wisp popping those spears, trying to keep these guys away from him. Nice little tether coming out from Creejo, and I think we're just seeing more or less just a better lineup by MYI, despite the fact that it's Anti-Mage who has really nothing but blink and 1 point inside of mana break. Doing quite a bit of work. Actually, oh man, speaking of doing quite a bit of work, Weaver goes down, Centaur gets placed just in case. And I think we need to see the disband of the tri-lane. Denial not able to do much. Their aggressive tri-lane is not very successful as far as being aggressive. It looks like they do ping. They want to go for Ancient Apparition. The Centaurs are placed. They really don't want to let up. Denial really trying to get what they can, and MYI just slapping them down in the face. Speaking of slapping people down in the face, Tidehunter versus Legion Commander. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Tide should have the most fun in the world. I don't agree, of course, I don't agree with the Stout Shield, but Tidehunter was probably expecting to see some supports down bottom for Legion. Legion Commander is all by her lonesome though, and Tidehunter does have 2 points to that Kraken Shell. So that basically means that Tidehunter more or less is not taking any damage. The damage doesn't stack from Kraken Shell plus Stout Shield, so I think I don't really know how it works. It's really weird. I think it blocks 20 damage or it blocks 20 damage. So it always blocked 20 damage. Meanwhile, Razor dies mid. We got a rotation coming in for Ancient Apparition. Venomancer going to be able to get himself a kill on top of that. A actually taking a bunch of damage. Speaking of taking a bunch of damage, moving back on to top. We're just waiting for these guys to go ahead and cross that line again. Nightmare is already up on Bane, so Bane can go ahead and drop that. Just even catch somebody off, but not going to be able to cut nobody off. Meanwhile, down bottom, Tidehunter going toe-to-toe with Legion Commander. I was talking about it before, but I forgot, lost my train of thought. Tidehunter really nice versus melee people in general because he can just go ahead and drop that Anchor Smash. He does cause quite a few issues with people like Legion Commander, who really is relying on her damage because her damage is not only damage to deal to the enemy person, but it's also damage to heal herself. She does have 1 point inside of that Moment of Curse, so it is 20% of her damage as life steals, which is not a lot. So all that said, basically she'll try to hit Tidehunter. She can try to go blow for blow with Tidehunter, and usually Legion Commander wins like 1v1 fights like that. but because she's losing so much damage, I think right now she's losing a whole entire 55% of her damage. She is in a very bad situation because she's not getting that much lifesteal, and oh, by the way, Time took out some free damage. Anyway, we got a blink coming forward from Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is going to try to go jump on top of Bane. Bane has a Nightmare available. What he uses is a big question. He gets hit with a nice little cold feed. Weaver around the corner. Weaver taking a nice little chunk of damage. Does get Nightmare by Bane, so Sakuchi can come through. Bane does steal it and does keep himself alive. And speaking of keeping him alive, Ancient Burst will be the one to go down. Weaver just might lose his life though. Anti-Mage is going to be going for target. Has tunnel vision. Will he go for it? He does in fact go for it. Gets tethered by the Wisp, and Anti-Mage will be able to blink here in a few seconds. Weaver pumps up a healing staff. A lot of damage coming towards Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage might be going down. No G. Oh man, Gemini Strike not going to be in his timing, but looks like he still get the kill anyway. Triple kill going towards Weaver. These guys are keeping the aggression going. Holy crap! It's hashtag gas pedal. Meanwhile, mid, did Venomancer get a kill? I think Venomancer killed Razor again. Guys, Venomancer's killing Razor. This is so weird. Anyway, Venomancer having a nice little fun time killing Razor. He is really low, so he's going to go ahead and walk back into his base. Likely we'll see him pick up phase boots. I've seen a lot of carry farming Weavers, not Weavers, Venomancers build themselves phase boots instead of power treads. You can go for either one. We'll just see how that decides to go. Meanwhile, down bottom, Tyranitar continue to get his farm. Sitting at 32 last hits for safe lane Tide. He will be able to give himself a very fast blink dagger. It'll probably be online about the 12-minute mark, so it will be a nice timing for that. Legion Commander, on the other hand, she is working on trying to get some farm. Sitting at 30 last hits, she has some decent items, but she doesn't have quite the farm that she wants. Getting denied 6 creeps so far, and also she can technically go into the jungle, but really at this point, it might not be worth it. She might get ganked a few times, coming out from that aggressive tri-lane up top, which is actually a fairly dangerous lane. It's just Anti-Mage with his mana burn just makes Weaver not have fun. Take Sakuchi off of Weaver, he becomes a hero who has no HP. More or less no HP. Wisp, not necessarily the same concept, but Wisp is just a very low HP person in general. And on the side of Bane, well, I don't know, he just died a few times for no reason. 2 deaths going to his name, but 2 assists going back his way. So these guys are keeping the aggression going. And if you guys don't know the technicalities of how a tri-lane works, aggressive tri-lane that is, basically with an aggressive tri-lane, your goal is to not lose the lane, and also with aggressive tri-lane, if you can get a kill or 2, then you're good. And speaking of getting a kill or 2, Weaver's going to go all in. He is not level 6, but he is going to Sakuchi through there. I want to kill his Ancient person. They're going to be able to get the kill. Weaver about to lose all his mana. Bane with a nice Nightmare. Catches the Anti-Mage off, and Anti-Mage is going to be sitting there having dreams about Weaver not dying. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got a duel going on. Tidehunter versus Legion Commander. Rubik shows up. Telekinesis does come through. Sadly, it's a little bit too soon. Speaking of being too soon, Tidehunter Ravage is available. I think he might need to use it if he wants to survive. He's going to go ahead and pop that. He goes around the corner. Looks like he's going to go for some damage on the Legion Commander. No TP support comes through. Rubik does get healed up by the Legion Commander. Now we got Tide actually forced to run away. No bottom charges left for his name, but he did use the Ravage. Legion did do a duel, and the duel did lose because too much damage block. OP shells Kraken. Or, OP Kraken shells OP. Meanwhile, down bottom, Rubik popped himself a very aggressive Observer Ward in a nice little position around the corner. Last hits showing us a Tide still at the top somehow. Top lane, there's a lot of kills happening up here, but not a lot of farming by the looks of it. Weaver only sitting at 21 last hits, whereas you have Anti-Mage on the other side sitting at 14 last hits. So, at the very least, the tri-lane is forcing Anti-Mage to get his farm elsewhere because it's not really safe for him to stay in lane. And like I said, there's still a decent amount of kill potential on Denial's side with the Weaver, Wisp plus Bane. More so on the Bane Weaver than the Wisp. Wisp is just kind of there for a casual slow. But all that said, at least they're contesting it quite well. They're doing a nice little job of getting the pools go through. Sadly, creeps didn't meet, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Oh yeah, and Venomancer's hanging out mid. Amelia saving up for looks to be a Blink Dagger first, so he can block our Blink Dagger, pop in, drop his ult, or blink, pop a Venomous Gale and have fun. Maybe just save up a casual 2k, go for Aggro Scepter, I don't really know. But the Venomous Gale does come through. We got Amelia trying his hardest to push his lane. Needs to be very careful about that. Those Plague Wars do lose gold when you do kill them. Or do give gold at least when you do kill them. 17 gold going towards Razor. I kind of wonder how much farm Razor has based on just those Plague Wards. So we just have to wait and see. Tide has a bottle finished up. She's had for a while. Also has a TP, so he can actually TP into the fight if he needs to. Surprisingly broke. I was expecting to have a little bit more farm, but I mean, hasn't died at all. Has 49 last hits. Only has himself arcane boots plus a bottle. Like I said, I was expecting him to have a little bit more farm. Rubik TPing down bottom to defend the tower, plus give himself some very valuable levels. Bane headed mid just to push his stupid Plague Wards back. These are max level Plague Wards, so there's a lot of HP that they have on them. Venomous Gale does come through, lands on top of Bane. Bane will be fine though. Wisp does tether to him. And oh my gosh, look at it. Oh my gosh, Bane actually might be going down. Legion Commander had a Blink Dagger. Oh my gosh. She just might have got herself a kill on top of Bane. Bane gets a Brain Zap, but he does back away. Legion Commander looking like she's being very aggressive. She's playing very forward right now. And I think that's a sign that we might see her go for a Blink Dagger. Venomancer decided to pick himself up what looks to be a Hand of Midas. So he will be able to continue getting his farm. Priority farm on Venomancer versus a Weaver. Not sure if I like that at all. Not sure if I like that at all. I mean, considering that we have Legion Commander getting countered more or less by Weaver's natural building of Linkosphere, sure. But at the same time, Venomancer, I don't like Venomancer as a carry. I'm sorry, guys. I just think he should be always play support. Probably because I only play support, and I like Venomancer as a support. Personal bias. Middle tower getting siege though. Legion Commander plus Veno. Looks like they might be able to jump on a kill on top of Razor if Legion Commander had a Blink Dagger, which he doesn't. Pinks do come up top though. Weaver's coming all in. He wants to go for kill on top of Ancient Push. Ancient Push pops himself a nice little slow on top of Weaver. Weaver taking a crap ton of damage. Does just barely get enough mana to jump back in. And does survive. Meanwhile, we got Ancient Person once again still in a little bit of trouble. Blink comes in from Anti-Mage. Wisp in a lot of trouble. Tethers to a creep. Does keep herself alive. Weaver got himself a kill on top of Ancient Person in the corner as well. Sadly, this Anti-Mage is not a Faceless Void, so he won't be able to jump himself a Chronosphere. Weaver going to go ahead and go run the other way. Doesn't want to die. He's trying to juke Anti-Mage in the tree. He's going to be successful. He's going to continue to run though. Sakuchi is level 3, so it is going to be a little bit cheaper. Sorry, take a little bit longer for an actually cast it. Bane denies himself in mid. And what else happened? Somebody else died. Venomancer died. Which I'm okay with. Stupid carry Venomancer. No offense to the person playing Venomancer, of course. Just I don't like Venomancer carry. We got time to pick himself up a Bounty Rune. He's going to be able to get himself a few more bottle charges. Working on that Blink Dagger so he can just be that walking ulti that we all expect to see him be. Moving on to the rest of the items, we see ourselves the Hand of Midas. Plus, we see Anti-Mage working on that Battle Fairy, which I'm surprised, especially considering how active he's been in these, trying to get these kills. Usually if you see an Anti-Mage who's really trying to be aggressive or involved in team fights early on, you don't see them go for Battle Fairies. You see them go for things like Vladimir's Offering, Jar of Endurance, maybe just an extra casual bracer just because. Ring of Aquila as well. But it's mainly because you're trying to get cheap damage on it. You're not trying to do too terribly much as far as farming for the late game. You just want to flat out win the mid game. But this Anti-Mage is deciding, despite the fact that they were very aggressive early on, deciding instead to go for that Battle Fairy. This will delay him by quite a bit, because so we won't be seeing that 15-minute, 16-minute Battle Fairy. Instead, we're probably going to see more likely a 25-minute Battle Fairy come up for Anti-Mage, which at that point he'll proceed to go farm for 30 minutes in the jungle. Bane going to be going down to the root. We've got TP coming in mid. I don't know who this is, but they need to go ahead and cancel. Weaver shows up. Centaurs are placed mid, so they did scout out where he was. Venomancer around the corner. Will Venomancer be able to do anything versus the Weaver? We got Bug versus Snake. Who's going to win the fight? Oh man, the kneecap bugs, as people like to call them, all up on Legion Commander's kneecaps. Actually, somebody, never mind. Not gonna say it, guys. Not gonna say what you thought I was gonna say. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else is going on. Wisp is not level 6, that's the thing to point out. Bane is not level 6 either. He's trying to get his levels up. But once he does get his ulti up, he should be able to help them get an easy kill on top of Anti-Mage. I really dislike this build coming out from Anti-Mage on the MYI side. So I really disagree with, like I said, going for the Battle Fairy, especially considering the lane with so much action going on. I think Anti-Mage should have just went ahead and invested in the mid game. And let Legion try to go late for the team. Speaking of going late, Weaver, is he working on his Lincolns? Yes, he is working on his Lincolns. Perseverance already finished up. And now Bane's coming around the corner. Bane's level 6. He's going to go ahead and drop. Oh, sorry, wrong team. Bane's level 6 though. He can drop the ulti on top of somebody. Legion Commander Anti-Mage. Probably waiting for Legion Commander to go ahead and drop her ulti on top of somebody. TP does come out. Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is going to go ahead and go mid. He knows he needs to farm. We see the creeps pushing forward. Meanwhile, down bottom, Rammus does come through from time. We got a lot of damage coming towards Venomancer. Venomancer does officially go down. His ulti did go through by the looks of it, but it looks like it's not going to do nearly enough to actually kill these guys. Poison Sting doing a nice little ticks of damage on top of Tide. Tide will be able to survive though. Does TP back out just in time. Meanwhile, on top, the skirmish is still going on. These guys don't want to fight, but they want to fight. It's like they have that urge to kill somebody, but they don't know what exactly to kill. Speaking of killing, Tide the Blink Dagger is up online. Weaver about, what was that, 1400 gold away from that Lincoln, or from that Ultimate for that Linkosphere. Much needed stats. Much needed stats. And it looks like we got everybody just waiting around the corner. Legion, how close are you to your Blink Dagger? She's actually, was that 700 gold? 800 gold away? It looks like they want to go in. We've got a nice little ulti coming up for Bane, but don't forget Legion Command is on the map. Legion Command does drop herself a nice little easy heal. Sadly, Ancient Person does still die, so that's like death number 4 of 10 that I called out. Legion Command taking a bunch of damage, sadly not going to duel. She's instead going to go ahead and pop those bottle charges. Does officially go down. Double kill going towards Weaver. And we see MYI kind of losing grip of what's going on. No pun intended with the Fiend's grip and all. But kind of losing grip of what's going on right now. Weaver a little bit too evasive for him, I guess. Just weaving in and out of those fights as his name suggests. And go ahead and give himself a double kill, just casually. But don't forget, guys, there's an anti-mage in the game, and once it's 3 a.m., you know we'll be seeing some crazy team fights. That said, it's going to take a while to become 3 a.m. There's a reason why 3 a.m. happens very late. It's mainly because anti-mage really has to get himself that battle fury so he can actually get the farm to do it. It's going to take him a while. I'm expecting anti-mage to be gone from this game, more or less. It just basically turned into a 4 protect 1 type strat where Legion Commander has to be the primary carry, and Ancient Person is not even level 6 just yet. Okay, he is level 6, but he doesn't have the points of his ulti just yet. Instead, he has... looks like he just became level 6. Okay, that's fine. He'll get a points of his ulti, so Lizard will be able to have his ulti at least. Venomancer level 10 right now. His ultimate didn't prove to do too terribly much without the Ancient Person ulti backing him up. And Venomancer stole himself a Gush. Probably wants to steal Ravage, just so he can get that counter initiation going on for his team. But really, outside of things to talk about, outside of last hits and how impressive Razor's last hits are now, we see ourselves the items are not really changing too much. Weaver has his ultimate, so more stats going towards his way. Gold graph showing in favor of Denial, as we would expect it to be. They did somehow get the advantage when those team fights were happening at the top, and we also see them getting the advantage when we also saw them get the advantage with that triple kill on top of Weaver, which I think was definitely a huge factor in getting them back into that gold graph lead. And also, oh yeah, by the way, they got a tower. Just casual tower. So things are stacking up for Denial. They're not too terribly far ahead. They're only 2k gold, which is basically a triple kill spree, or triple kill for Weaver plus tower. That'll be about right. Alright, for the gold. XP shown is in favor of Denial. I think it's more or less a testament of the fact that there's a hand of minus. Take it back. Hand of minus is on the MII side. Yeah, so XP graph is shown as in favor of Denial, which is actually good considering that there is a hand of minus on Venomancer. He's going to be building a mechanism for his team. I don't really foresee Venomancer being all that impactful, really. Usually when you have your mid, you want to be really impactful, but we'll just have to wait and see. There's a lot of dot on the side of MYI. We just have to, of course, wait to see everybody get the things online. Ancient Person just got his ulti. I'm expecting to see him get an Aghanim Scepter sometime through the course of the game. Venomancer, I'm expecting to see an Aghanim Scepter Blink Dagger eventually come out from him as well. He's going for the mechanism to keep himself alive, which I'm okay with. Rubik, Blink Dagger too, so a lot of people getting Blink Daggers on MYI's side in the near future. Of course, we have to make it to that point in the game, and I think that point will start once Anti-Mage is officially ready to go. Which is going to take a while. Still going to take a while. Take a look at the net worth that we see around the map, though. We see ourselves with a net worth of 6k on Weaver. That basically sums up all this game's worth. Weaver actually died. I think he died twice. No, he only died once. Okay, he died once in the very early parts of the game. He did get 7 kills, and he hasn't died since. Excuse me. Considering that he had built us up power treads, which some people like me would argue that you don't necessarily need boots on Weaver. And by need boots on Weaver, I mean you can rely heavily on Sakuchi. Of course, that's really risky because there's anti-mage who can burn your mana, and also Rubik can still telekinesis, or Rubik can still Sakuchi and just make your life not fun with telekinesis. But Weaver, considering that he did go for power treads, he pretty much has his Link Sphere already. If you take away the power treads and put that gold towards Link Sphere, he already has it. So we were doing a fantastic job with his farm, of course. Venomancer is not that far behind, but keep in mind, Venomancer was playing mid and he was pushing really hard. So because he was playing mid, he does. Because he's playing mid and Weaver's pretty close by as far as levels go, 2 level difference. The gold is showing that's in favor of course, Weaver. But because Venomancer was playing mid, that shows that Weaver's doing a fantastic job as far as getting his farm. And oh by the way, if I don't mistake myself, oh man, we got relocate game. Come on top of Venomancer. Venomancer immediately pops his ult. Razor drops his ulti. Does a bunch of damage to Venomancer. Venomancer does officially go down. A lot of people getting caught to the Venomancer ult, but not anybody really caring too much. Veno can't nearly put out as much damage as people want him to. Oh, Veil of Discord. Right, my bad. Veil of Discord would be another nice item for Venomancer to get to. That's just more so down the line. And we got the Courier taking some damage. Took like a right click or two. Almost went down. That would have been very sad. Tyrant to Blink Dagger, of course, still online. Bane working on a TP scroll. Gonna be able to TP out. He does TP up top. Smoke of the Sea gets used. Are they going to go for a gank? And probably not. I mean, there's not really much to gank up here. Sentry Wards and Observer Wards getting placed all over the place. We got the rotations coming down from Legion Commander plus Anti-Mage. We'll see how aggressive these guys can be as far as taking down towers. I actually like Legion Commander as far as pushing towers. I also like Anti-Mage as far as pushing towers. They both can do it pretty well. Legion has a Blink Dagger now, so she's ready to start racking up that damage, trying to get herself to Rapier levels. TP does come top immediately from Raze. These guys do want to go for it. Looks like fucking mad. Looks like he thought he was going to get ulti, but sadly Anti-Mage blunk too far. Oh man, what a Rubik said. Robosol Brain Sap. It looks like the duel's going to come through for Legion Commander. Easy gets herself a nice little kill on top of Bane. So it does reveal the fact that she does have herself a Blink Dagger, but she got herself an easy duel victory. Sadly, she's on level 9, so she doesn't have level 2 of the ulti yet, but she will soon. Speaking of things that are pretty sad, we got Venomancer trying to do a little bit more damage to Weaver. Weaver not really caring too terribly much. He will be able to make us alive. Venomancer trying to keep the damage up though. Jorl just going to be forced to run away as far as he possibly can. Of course, because he's Weaver, he has his Sakuchi. He can move at maximum speed anyway. Why not just go ahead and use it? And Link Sphere should be online in about, what's this, 20 more gold? About 100 more gold now. Yeah, that's how much recipe is. Where's Link Sphere? Oh my gosh, there it is. 1325, okay. So we have it at the small camp. And Weaver has a Link Sphere, GG. He officially doesn't have to be afraid of Legion Commander. Considering the things that can break Link Sphere aren't really too numerous, and that people probably like to use them elsewhere. Anti-Mage ult, sure, but he usually uses that at the end of the fight anyway. We got Ancient Operation, he can drop the Cold Feet, and that would be a really good thing to break the Link Sphere, but outside of that, you don't really have much. Oh, my bad, Rubik. Rubik has 3, sometimes 4 things that can break a Link Sphere, so that is something to consider as well. Of course, Rubik ulti, plus a Fable, plus Telekinesis, and possibly Brain Sap or other target point abilities that he steals from people. So a nice person to actually counter the Weaver, I guess, counter the Link Sphere. Oh man, doesn't really matter. We got Rubik taking a bunch of damage. He does officially go down. Razor does pick up that kill. H-Jumper's ulti flies mid. Does a little bit of damage to Razor. Razor gonna be fine though. It's working on looks to be a BKB. And meanwhile, on top, we got some action going on. Legion Commander going toe to toe. Gonna be able to TP out. Nope, I lied. She dies. Weaver gets, or Wisp does get the last on top of that. So this is a very, very good position right now for Denial now. They have the Ravage Blink Daggers up, Legion Commander Blink Daggers up. I'm waiting to see Venomancer get his Blink Dagger up, and also waiting to see, well, heck, why not? Let Anti-Mage get a Blink Dagger. Just Blink Dagger, you get a Blink Dagger, you get a Blink Dagger, everybody gets a Blink Dagger, because that's how it works out, guys. They have a lot of initiation power, MYI do, and I think Legion Commander in this game, a Blink Dagger is a lot more useful than a Shadow Blade. Speaking of Shadow Blade, we got Anti-Mage building up a Claymore, because he's building himself a Battle Fury. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for Anti-Mage to get online, guys. It's just going to take a while. But we might see a lot of team fights in the meantime, though, because Blink Dagger Tide, Blink Dagger Legion, just waiting to see somebody die really badly from that. Tide's working on what to be a Hood of Defiance, so he can actually go for that Pipe of Insight. And we got Anti-Mage run away from a Weaver. That's how it works. Looks like Weaver's going to just be able to do a little bit more damage. I'm actually a little bit concerned to see if Weaver decides to go for a Desolator next. You know, we see Rubik actually stole Brain Sap, not where he really wanted, but we got Telekinesis, or Tele does come towards Wisp. We got a lot of damage coming towards Rubik. Rubik somehow surviving all the way. Gets healed up by Legion Commander, press the attack. Gonna be able to keep him alive. And actually, Wisp might be going out. Wisp's gonna relocate out. Ulti does run out. And these guys keep doing nice little hit and misses everywhere. Oh, camera. Sorry, my bad. So Anti-Mage working on the next piece. We'll be able to see him get that Battle Fury up. Let's just watch him play Farming Simulator. And also, there's a timing window too for MYI as well. Assuming that Legion Commander doesn't get all of the duels that she wants, we do have to be very concerned, because if this game does go past that 40-minute mark, where Anti-Mage will likely hopefully have his Mantis Stop finished by then. If we do get past that point, we do end up in a situation where basically Anti-Mages will carry way too hard for Legion Commander to actually do anything. Of course. Wait, hold on, I said the wrong side. Hold on, my bad, guys. I'm confusing teams up. My bad. Let me repeat that in the correct context. We'll basically get to that point if this game does go past that 40-minute mark, where basically Anti-Mage will carry too hard for Weaver to do anything. Where Anti-Mage can just do enough damage and just ignore enough damage from Weaver, assuming that he gets a Butterfly, of course, and Weaver doesn't get MKB anytime soon. We're going to get to that point where Anti-Mage just basically do way too much damage for a Weaver to actually deal with. And now we got a lot of damage coming towards Legion Commander. Oh my gosh, easy kills, easy. Bane going to be the one to go down, feeding them stacks of damage. Ancient Emperor's also going to fly through down bottom. Not really going to be able to do much. At least it breaks a Tyrant to Blink Dagger for a few seconds. But Legion got a duel. Bane dies, and also Rubik dies. I think that's okay. And why am I not seeing? Why am I not seeing my show? Oh, I can't see the fight. I can't see the fight replay. I'm very sad, guys. Makes you sad. Well, maybe sound is cool now. AA's trying to run out this. Doesn't want to die right now. I think, did Wisp relocate for that? Yeah, Wisp relocated for that. It's a Weaver Wisp. And they will be able to jump on back top, continue farming. Wisp in a little bit of trouble though, out of mana. Needs to be very careful. And Weaver continue the farm. And speaking of continuing the farm, you see he has the highest net worth still. There's a hand of minus on Venomancer. Venomancer is not even close. He has the mechanism finish at least. But Veno's farm right now is just not what you want to see on a carry Venomancer. I don't like it, sure, but still I can talk about it. Aghanim Scepter, Veil of Discord, really good items I have on a carry Venomancer. Basically, you rely a lot more on your spells as Venomancer, or carry Venomancer, than you would on your right click. And then of course you eventually build into your right click and you might want to get yourself a Maelstrom, might want to get yourself a Maelnir, that is. Might want to get yourself a, Venomancer, might be in trouble. Makes out alive. Haste Rune, safe. Ancient Emperor Ice Blast flies down bottom just to bother Razor a little bit. Everybody's just kind of playing spread around, denial. Not really caring too much. They know they control the tempo, so they know that this is their game to lose. And speaking of being their game to lose, Weaver up top, he might be in a little bit of trouble. Rubik did steal himself a Sakuchi, so it will be nice. He needs to be very careful now because Sakuchi into telekinesis will be the death of Weaver. Sakuchi does come forward from Rubik. He will not be able to catch up to the Weaver. They do run around the corner instead. This is the point of the game where it becomes very, very, very fragile right now for Denial. Weaver gave up the Sakuchi for Rubik. Rubik is going to be the one who needs to make these big plays. And speaking of making these big plays, we got the wraparound gate coming out from Tidehunter plus Bane. They will be going for kill on top of Venomancer plus the Ancient Person. They're going to go for the Veno instead. Veno does go down, loses all the mana for his mechanism, does officially die. Ancient Person dies as well. Ice Blast did come through, but not going to be able to do much. Relocate Gank did come through as well. Weaver actually in the corner, might be going down. Looks like Rubik will be able to find him. Will he be able to kill him? The answer is probably no. Oh my gosh, Rubik is officially surrounded. Nobody has any detections, sadly, so Rubik will be able to hide into the trees. And if Hatiwa would have lost his life in that fight, that would have been very bad. It looks like actually he might still lose his life. Gets healed up by Legion Commander, nice little jukes. Trees OP, please nerf. Also, Sakuchi does come through. Meanwhile, we got Anti-Mage doing that split pushing thing. Battle Fury is finished, so he's going to continue to farm, working on that Manta style. I thought I heard a relocate, but I probably didn't. Weaver going toe-to-toe with Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage will probably lose the fight right now, but Anti-Mage doesn't have to fight. Desolator looks like it's going to be the next item coming up on top of Weaver, so Joro will be going for that. And, a lot. Okay, that's interesting. All right, we see a Maelstrom come up for Weaver. All right, bold move, Slow clap for you, sir. Slow one-handed clap for you, because my other hand's on the mouse. I promise. But yeah, it's still going to be a really nice item for him to have. Weaver can do a nice job of counter pushing. He can also do a good job of killing not only just the plague wards of Venomancer because his right click will be a little bit faster. He can also do a good job of killing all the illusions that Anti-Mage will have here very soon once he does finish up his Manta style. Because we are expecting to see Anti-Mage get a Manta style. Like there's no question about it. Will Anti-Mage build a Manta style? The answer is yes. The answer is always yes. He will have himself the goal for that now. So Yasha going to be coming up. Next piece will be the Ultimate Orb, of course, and that will be coming up here soon. And once Anti-Mage has that Manta style, expect to see him go for something next. I'm expecting to see a Heart immediately after the Manta style, but that's just my expectation. Reality says that he probably should go for a BKB just to make sure he doesn't get hit with a Ravage, but I still think he should just go for the survivability plus the damage, because Weaver's right click right now is pretty darn nice. Bane looking for it. Oh man, Bane has himself the Geometry Sight, so he doesn't want to lose his life right now, but if he does get jumped on, he just might be losing his life altogether. Speaking of jumping on people, we got Tidehunter coming forward, nice little gush, forces Venomancer back. Venomancer booster travel picked up on him, so he's just focused on pushing right now. And really, they're losing a lot of ground on MYI's side. We more or less saw the same exact thing happen to Denial's side, but just in the opposite direction. The only difference right now, though, is that there is an Anti-Mage who can push a little bit more efficiently than some of the other people on MYI's side, or Denial's side last time around. But at the same token, we do see a tower advantage going the way of Denial right now on the Radiant squad. They do have 2 towers up. So they are 1 tower up as far as gold goes. And speaking of gold, you see the net worth showing that Denial do still have the gold lead based on previous farm plus previous kills. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage farm with the Ancients, continue to get his gold. We'll see how long it takes him to get his Manta style. Probably a while. Legion build himself that all-important, that very important Blade Mail, because Blade Mail will be the pro. At the very least, you'll be able to pop that, pop a duel, or during a duel, or she can just pop in like Bane, Weaver, Tidehunter, Wisp, all to kill themselves as they try to right-click her down. She's only won 2 duels right now. I think she's only dueled 3 or 4 times so far, so we haven't been seeing much activity out of Zamage on that Legion Commander. But oh man, when we see engagement happen around the corner, this is somebody getting caught up. Bane does officially go down. BKB gets popped by Razor, so that's going to be a nice little win so far. Meanwhile, we got a Rubik using what looks to be Brain Zap and Ice Blast coming up for Ancient Approach. He does catch 2. Beautiful ulti from Tidehunter. He does officially go down. Jimmy True Side dropped on the ground. Anti-Maze blows up whoever the heck that was. I think that was a Wisp. Ironically, Wisp dies in a very, very, very violent ball of fire. And mana, and smoke, and death, and blood, and whatever Wisp is made of. Legion coming to come around the corner looking for a duel, not going to be able to find it. Weaver actually getting a few right clicks on top of Legion. Legion won't be able to blink here in like 6 seconds, but she will be going down. I think the damage coming from Weaver is a little bit too high. Weaver forced to pop that ulti just to go ahead and go back. He does want to try to see if he can get himself a kill on top of anybody, but the Jimmer True Sight's up on Venomancer now, so Weaver needs to be very, very, very cautious as well. Anti-Mage, next item will be... Oh, right, he still has to finish Advanced down, of course. So next item for Anti-Mage will be something impressive probably. We got a Handemize up on Ancient Ambition to help supplement that farm, so he is, like I said, in fact, building himself an Aghanim's Scepter, as some people like to pronounce it. Ice Blast comes through, just a little bit of damage to the creatures. Venomancer picks up the rest of that farm. And now we got Razor. Here's Razor finding the Anti-Mage around the corner. If he does get himself a nice little latch on top of Anti-Mage, he might find himself an easy kill. Anti-Mage just gonna go ahead and casually blink away though. Doesn't want this Anti-Mage nonsense in his freaking jungle right now. Just can't deal with it. So take a look at that gold graph, guys. Ain't it beautiful? Just pretty much one team fight lost by denial, essentially. And MYI are pretty much right back into the game. I think they lost. Did they lose the killing streak? Oh my gosh, did they lose the killing streak? I don't think they lost any killing streak. I think really what just happened was just people dying in very comical fashions. And the Dota god said, "Hey, bro. Good job entertaining us. Here's some gold." That's just basically what happened. We got Weaver up top farming by himself solo. Rubik gonna go ahead and probably drop himself a telekinesis. Still Sakuchi. Gonna be. He stole the ulti from Weaver. Not what he wanted. But we got the ulti coming from Legion Commander. A lot of damage coming from Weaver as well. Ancient Person Ice Blast gonna come through. Wisp saves the life of Weaver. Holy crap! Can you even think of the awesomeness that just came out of that? Nice little save from Wisp, and Weaver will be able to make this one alive. Looks like Wisp will be the sole one to die though. Telekinesis into right clicks into easy kill. Rubik stole Weaver's ult. I guess that's useful. He can pop Weaver's ult and then still Sakuchi anyway. I don't really know. But Jimmy True Sight's picked up on Weaver though. Or wow, Rubik, that one, the one with the face and the hands and the legs. Not the mini legs, but you know, just a few legs. Razor working on the Aghanim Scepter, so he will be able to have that up. Tidehunter Type of Insight is up as well. Take a look at the rest of the items on the map. We see the Melnir finished up on Weaver. Link Spheres finished up too. I'm a little bit interested to see what he'll go for next. I still think he needs a Deso. Yes, you can have a Deso plus a Melnir. I think you need to build it the other way around, though, for it to work. I'm not sure. But whichever one came into your inventory first, I think, is the one that will proc first. So if Melnir doesn't proc, then Deso will proc. And while Deso's procking, then it doesn't matter. Actually, hold on. Oh man, hold on. I actually take it back. I forgot to change. Desolator's no longer. No, it is. It is. Okay. They changed Weaver's second attack. Weaver's second attack now applies on-hit effects. That's what it was. Alright, but anyway, the main point being that Weaver has a lot of right click right now. He just needs damage. Crit will be a nice item as well, just to make sure he can just do a whole bunch of damage. And speaking of doing a whole bunch of damage, down bottom we got Rubik chasing himself around Weaver. Weaver does pop himself a nice little. Oh man, well we got a lot of nice little ravage coming out from times. It catches the Venomancer only essentially. Relocate comes in from Wisp as well, just to help out. Everybody's just pretty much showing up for the raiding squad, ready to push in. Denial are not having any of this. They're gonna go ahead and continue to push. Dire, MYI, they're gonna try to do what they can. Ice Blast comes over Ancient Ambition, misses everybody essentially. Weaver gets hit with a nice little telekinesis, gets stolen. Sakuchi gets stolen, that is. Weaver does start to TP out. Anti-Mage split pushing. What does he have? His illusion shows that he has a Mantis style now. It's officially 3 AM. Holy crap, guys, get hype. We got Anti-Mage about to be doing a whole bunch of damage. I expect to see him be involved in these team fights here very soon. He does, like I said, I think he still needs a heart. I'm just saying, he needs a heart. There's just something inside of me, in my own heart, that tells me Anti-Mage needs a heart for him to survive these fights. If he does get enough HP, he can actually survive all the damage coming out from Tidehunter. He can actually survive all the damage coming from, well, not Wisp, but at least the damage coming from a Fiend Script from Bane. So at the very least, he'll be able to survive some of these things coming out from the enemy squad, to where a really a BKB wouldn't really help him anyway. If he does get a BKB, it'll be more or less a waste of gold in my honest opinion. He'll be able to block the Ravage, sure, but that's really the only spell he has to worry about. If he can just survive the Ravage instead, he'll be fine. He'll be just fine. But of course, he will have to supplement his HP as far as surviving, and it might be forcing him to get a flash, which I don't think would be nice at this point in the game. Anywho, speaking of not being nice, Anti-Mage up top getting beat up by Weaver, who's not being really nice at all. Weaver does have his ult available, so he can't just drop that ult and run away. Anti-Mage forced to blink out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And it looks like Anti-Mage wants to continue to farm. He's trying to save up a nice chunk of gold. He has 1,800 gold saved up so far. Anti-Mage illusions, gonna go ahead and push through. And Weaver, really well built to deal with illusions right now. Mjolnir, really good item to have. Kills illusions pretty darn well. Does a nice little chunk of, what is it, 150 damage? Yep, 150 bounce, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 150 bounce damage, which versus anti-mage illusions, unless they have like a heart plus Aghanim Scepter. Okay, no, please don't. Anyway, unless they have a whole bunch of HP. And also, trying to think what's another item that's good for anti-mage. Outside of a heart. Oh, butterfly, right? A butterfly for the extra evasion. Well, you can't evade magic damage, but still, at the same token, at the very least, they'll be able to survive a little bit longer. They'll also be able to do a bit more damage. And really, for me, anti-mage right now is all about making those illusions survive a whole bunch. Speaking of having things survive a whole bunch, we got the Weaver plus the Wisp having a little bit of fun killing those creeps on the backside. Bottom tower does go down. Razor Aghanim Scepter was available, so that they use it to go ahead and push through. And speaking of being able to push through, Venomous pops his ult, and now we got Melee pretty much going to be going down for free, essentially. Gets healed up by the Legion Commander, losing a whole bunch of damage coming by the Razor. Meanwhile, the top tower does go down. Anti-Mage continuing his split push thing. Holy crap. This guy's is being as obnoxious as possible. Has enough gold for his Reaver. Going to go ahead and use those illusions to go ahead and push that lane back. And he TP's out back to base to help his allies out. Speaking of helping allies out, Rubik going to be aggressive, going to go and chase that Wisp. I think he might be in a little bit of trouble though. He does pop his Sakuchi before Reaver does. That means Weaver can pop his before Rubik does. Wrong way around. Man, Weaver can pop his again before Rubik does. Actually, no, I said that right. Legion Commander looking for a duel, not going to be able to find it. I think she's working on a heart next. Armlet Legion Commander is also a nice build. It's a little bit too late for Armlet though. Looks like they do know it's an illusion, so they're going to just go ahead and continue hunting, continue the farm. Rubik going to be playing points. He has Sakuchi, 4-staff, plus a Geometry Sight. About to lose Sakuchi though, so he probably really wants to go ahead and steal another one. About to be very vulnerable though. Pings do come on the map saying, hey guys, there's a ward there. Hey guys, there's a ward there. Sadly, there's no ward there. They're going to go ahead and kill Roshan though. Sort of blink, time to blinking forward. Looks like they want to go in for a fight. The Plague Ward does scout him out, and here comes Rubik around the corner, steals himself. Not a spell that's really useful. Probably want to raise his ult. They are going to go into the Roche Pit though. We got Legion Commander trying to go toe-to-toe with Roche. It looks like the Ravage can come through. Weaver going to go ahead and scout things out already. The Ravage I'm expecting the Ravage to come out from Tyrant here very soon. Legion Commander does officially go down. Razor going to be able to pick up that kill with his casual ult. Meanwhile, Tyrant is still around the corner, still trying to run away. Hasterin picked up conveniently for him, so he will be able to go ahead and just continue to run through. Wisp ulti was used just to make sure these guys to stay alive. I think they're trying to bring Legion Commander back into the fight. I don't really know. But looks like Legion Commander is hanging out towards over here. And Wisp does relocate back in. Yeah, they want to contest this Roshan. Like, MY, I really want this Roche. I don't think it's something I can actually win a fight for. Tynger hasn't used his Ravage yet, and still they have a good amount of control. Bane ulti's still online, and Razor, his ult is on cooldown at least, but it should be up here in another 20 seconds, which is probably about the time that Roche will die anyway. We got Weaver continuing to take this damage from Roshan, continue to do a little bit of damage to Roshan. Razor ulti's up in 12 seconds. Will we see these guys jump and blink in? The question is, or the answer to that is probably no. We'll see Ravage actually come up from Titan. Beautiful Ravage does come through. We got the damage coming out from Legion Commander on top of whoever that was. This is Bane going to be going down. Ancient Burst Ice Blast does go through. Aegis does immediately get used. Weaver going to be going down. With Venomaster trying to continue his damage. The sustained team fight is looking pretty darn nice right now. AA has no Aghanim Scepter, so it doesn't really matter, but he did give himself a kill. By the looks of it, Anti-Mage showing up, doing a nice little chunk of damage, looking for the Weaver. Weaver is going to be able to juke around the backside. Oh my gosh, Weaver, if you don't stop moving, bro. He does hide inside the trees right now. Reaver was picked up by him, so he does have a lot more HP than normal. You don't usually see Weavers build hearts, but when they do, they love you. They love you forever. They love you so much that they'll just follow you and throw their babies on your kneecaps and stab you in the back. Look at that love. That's love right there, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever seen love, but that's what love looks like to me. Just look at the love right there. Weaver gonna go ahead and donate his life as well. Oh, nice telekinesis from Rubik. Rubik stole Sakuchi as well. I think Weaver might be in a little bit of trouble. He's took a little bit too big of a bite that he could chew. He will be going down, but looks like Weaver does get himself a kill on top of Venoman at the very least. Veno killed Weaver, Weaver killed Veno. And Weaver does lose out in that fight, mainly because 1, the Raxes are getting pushed mid and he's dead, and 2, a killing streak was lost. And now we got Legion Commander pop that Blade Mail, going to go for a duel, doing a whole bunch of damage to whoever the heck that was. That's a really, really easy kill on top of that Bane. Bane once again going to be not feeling very happy about life. Legion Commander trying to run away as fast as possible. Time to Gush does come through. Here comes the anti-mage around the corner. He's going to go for the reckless on Ty. Ty has no Ravage available, so Ty needs to be extremely careful. Has no way to blink out. Anti-mage is going to go ahead and blink himself forward, trying to go for a kill on top of his Weaver, who did buy back for his fight, and Weaver does pop that ulti just to make it out alive. Speaking of making it alive, anti-mage is going to go ahead and stand still. He's going to go around the corner finally. His Reaver is finished up, so he's working on his harder to Rask. Ancient Burst ulti going to fly through here in a few seconds. It's going to hit in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Sorry, I was a little bit off. Close. It'd have been cool if I was on time. But guys, I'm never on time for anything. I'm always late. And now we got Anti-Mage is going to continue to farm. Harder to harass. We're probably flying out to him right now. He has everything but the recipe. Yeah, once he has that recipe, which he has to go for, he will be able to be super survivable, super tanky. It's almost like he's listening to me. Or maybe I just know what I'm talking about. You never know, guys. Could be one of those rare occasions where the caster sounds like he's more or less kind of competent. Aghanim Scepter is up on Venomancer 2. Holy crap, cool blue totally called it. Melee does have the Aghanim Scepter. I still want to see a Blink Dagger. He looks like he might be saving with gold for, but probably not. He might be going for something a little bit better, like a Sheepstick at this point. Sheepstick versus Weaver is pretty darn strong. Basically, have somebody get rid of Weaver's Link Sphere and just drop your Sheepstick. Weaver is useless for a whole entire 5 seconds. Also, another thing I didn't mention much because it hasn't really been that much of a factor would be just basically the interaction between Bane versus a Legion Commander. It's extremely frustrating as a support person to be getting caught with Fiend's Grips, and it's extremely gratifying as a Bane to be dropping Fiend's Grips on people's heads and just popping tags like that. But anyway, all that said and done though, Legion Commander has a very nice counter to Bane's ult, which is very frustrating because it's on a very low cooldown, relatively speaking. She just heals you, and Bane's ult ends. It's very frustrating. Anywho, speaking of things being very frustrating, Rubik in a little bit of trouble, has Sakuchi, gonna be forced to force staff away. Did take a little bit of damage coming up from the Razor ult. We want top tower getting pushed, a nice little chunk of damage. We got Rubik gonna come into the middle of this fight, does drop his ulti off. Now Ty will not be able to blink. Ancient Burst ulti gonna fly through on the backside. Nice little duel come out from Legion Commander. She's gonna get hit with the duel from Ty. Oh man, with the relocate does come through. Legion gonna go ahead and stand still and die. Officially, Weaver and Wuss do come back into this fight. He relocated literally like 2 feet away. Rubik got himself a double kill at the end of all that. MYI. They've lost equally as many resources, pretty much. Rubik is a big loss at this point in time because he just has to Sakuchi, but he can get it back later. It's not that big of a deal. But Tides of Ravage will be on cooldown for quite a while. Meanwhile, Ancient Person has an Aghanim Scepter. Holy crap, I didn't realize that. And Anti-Mage is going to go ahead and push in, doing that split push thing. Holy crap, this guy's doing a whole bunch of damage. Bottom Raxes did go down. Anti-Mage is going to continue the push, have himself a harder to harass. I don't think Razor can really go toe-to-toe with Anti-Mage, especially once Anti-Mage gets rid of the Static Link. Definitely not dead, but sadly he did use his Mantis Style already. Could have possibly turned the kill on top of Razor. It looks like Razor working on possibly a Scotty. Possibly a Scotty for Razor, but it could also be a Sheepstick. I've seen a few Sheepstick Razors, and I think in this game, a Sheepstick on either side would be fantastic because it will help them control a whole bunch of this carry nonsense that we keep seeing all over the place.
Illusion.
Oh, Heaven's Halberd picked up by Legion Commander. A nice chunk of HP plus that evasion. No MKB to be in sight just yet on Weaver. Instead, he has a harder to harass who's actually getting finished up right now. And he does officially have his heart, but he has seems to be no intention of building an MKB just yet. Pretty much. And we got a Basher coming up for Anti-Mage. Oh my gosh, it's about to get real, guys. Anti-Mage is getting this Basher. He's going to have the gold forward in... actually, no. Did he just buy it straight out? Almost bought it straight out. Was that 2,000 gold that he needs? He should have it by now. Hold on, that should be Basher. Yeah, that should be Basher. Yep, he's at the courier. He's making that poor courier fly out there and just bring him one little javelin. He could have waited. Could have freaking waited. Anti-Mage, douchebag. No offense, of course, to the player. Just talking about the hero himself. Speaking of being a douche bro, we see Anti-Mage getting the Basher though. He is going to have his A-Blade, which will be a fantastic item to counter the Weaver. Weaver, on the other hand, in response, looks like all he has is just a Link Sphere. His right click is looking pretty nice, but he doesn't really have, to me, all that impressive damage. Only hitting for about 170 right now. As far as per right click, of course he does technically get 2 right clicks every 3 seconds, but still. On the same token, that's not as much damage I think Anti-Mage can put out with his 3 Manta Illusions, which do pretty much deal essentially max damage, might as well count it as that. With that Mana Break coming on through. And Anti-Mage actually hitting pretty darn hard as well for a hero that he is. Especially considering that his build. And speaking of considering his build, we got up top Venomancer and a little bit of trouble. Relocate game coming on through. Here comes the Weaver plus the Wisp, and a lot of damage, a lot of resources getting used to kill the Weaver. Weaver does, no, kill the Venomancer. Weaver does get himself out of there. Anti-Mage in a little bit of trouble, gets hit with the Nightmare. He can blink out here in a few seconds. We'll be able to blink out here in a few seconds. Actually, it's turned to a sheep by, I think, the Tyranids right now. Anti-Mage will be going down a big loss. A huge loss at that. Rubik and crew were not anywhere near him, and Anti-Mage really need these guys to control the team. But the sheep stick is up. I think it's on Razor. Okay, cool. He did in fact build a sheep stick. Fantastical item, like I said before. Just basically gives you that extra amount of control. It surprises the crap out of Anti-Mage because he doesn't expect you to use it on him, or expect you to have it at least. And that's a perfect time to actually use it. They use the Fiend's Grip, so Anti-Mage's like, okay, they use Fiend's Grip, it's ready to go. Let's do this, and gets sheeped up and dies anyway. Anyway, AA ulti coming on through. It already hit, and it looks like he just dies casually to Weaver. Weaver finds himself a Geometry Sight for his troubles. And now he continues to kill creeps, being that ever so bothersome bug. He's an earwig. We got a Razor around the corner looking for a kill on top of Legion. He has himself a sheep stick. If Legion does duel him, I think she may be able to win the fight, but she does need to be careful. I also want to say that if somebody's dueled, that they will be able to right click. I think that might just apply to Legion or the person actually initiating the duel. So I'm not entirely sure if that's entirely true. But I do know for a fact that Legion will always hit you, no matter if she's frostbitten, ghost sceptered, whatever. She'll still hit you. It just hurts. That said, if you do pop a ghost scepter and you get dueled, you still right click. The person right clicks you and the animation goes through, but they don't actually damage you. Fun fact. Fun fact. Playability draft, and you guys will know. Alright, down bottom we got Razor continuing to do his farming thing, just trying to keep these creeps back. Force to pop that ulti, just to keep these creeps back. The bottom lane is pushing pretty down aggressively. We actually see a big team fight about to happen here very soon. Time to Ravage looks like it's online. The 4-staff did come onto the high ground. They are trying to keep the Bane alive. There is a nice little chase, so Bane is baiting these guys out pretty darn hard. What these guys going for is a big question. The answer is yes. Weaver coming around the corner looking for the kill on top of something. Not going to be able to find anybody though. There's a little bit too far away. Geometry Sight is on the side of the Weaver. Actually no, Rubik has another Geometry Sight. They do find the Weaver around the corner. Meanwhile we got Anti-Mage's blinking forward. Blade Mail does get used by Legion Commander, looking for a duel. Is going to be able to find on top of this Weaver. I think it's a bad fight for her. She is going to be officially dying. Weaver taking a nice little chunk of damage. Ulti already used as well. Meanwhile, Rubik trying to run away as fast as he possibly can. Stole no spell right now. He's looking for a spell to steal. Not going to be able to find it. Venomancer ulti does come through. Nice little ulti coming out from Bane as well on top of Anti-Mage, making sure he's staying still for a few seconds. But Venomancer ulti will be doing some work. The longer this fight goes on, the worse it's going to get for these guys. Anti-Mage is looking for his ulti to go through. Lost his mana for it. Does get the kill on top of Wisp. And looks like the kill will be falling on top of Bane here very soon. Razor around the corner, just not really doing much. Popping his BKB, trying to get a right click. Gets kill on top of Anti-Apparition. Now we got Anti-Mage versus Razor. Razor not taking out that much damage because he doesn't get mana burn or mana broken. Mana burns while he's taking the right click. We got a nice little chunk of damage. Weaver somehow still alive. Gonna be able to get killed by Anti-Mage. Oh my gosh, the ulti comes through. The jukes from this guy right now. They're still trying to go for the chase. Anti-Mage blinks forward with the Geometry Sight in hand. Not gonna be able to find the Weaver. Weaver heals up because of Hard Harass and TP's back to base. The pings do come down in the bottom lane saying, hey, let's go for the push. Let's do this. Make it as try to force these guys to buy back and make it as painful as possible for Denial to actually sit back and wait for the response to come through. The more gold they can force them to spend, the better. MYI, they did have the advantage, but they did lose quite a bit in that last fight. If they can force Denial to buy back, then Denial won't be able to take advantage of the gold that they just got back, though. XP is shown as pretty much at the 0 line, and items on the map, we'll talk about those in a few seconds, because I see an AC. I see an AC up on Venom, so that means these guys can push pretty darn hard. Tower is going to be going down. Tower and Wax is going to be going down. Easy to do. Once you see ourselves a AC up on that Venomancer, and oh my gosh, Weaver has it. Okay. Weaver says, bro, go big or go home. Weaver has himself a Rapier right now. So he's ready to just right-click your face off. We're going to be able to see a whole bunch of swag come up from Weaver. His his right-click now is looking pretty darn impressive. Who needs crit when you have yourself a Rapier? The question is, will they go for it? Looks like they're pinging Roshan on both sides. They're heading towards it at least. The Dire are pinging, they're coming to the jungle. There's a dust of appearance around the corner, so Venomancer can't pick that up if he needs to, but not going to be able to actually go forward. Plague Wars playing Sentry Wars are going to be coming around the corner. Time Hunter, sadly, his blink is getting broken because of that freaking poison. The Beetles do come into the Roach Pit. Anti-Mage blinks out immediately. They don't want to get caught out. Now we got, speaking of getting caught out, we got Rubik actually giving himself Sakuchi, taking a nice little chunk of damage because Weaver does have himself a Geometry Sight. Meanwhile, here, Legion Commander duel in the back, so he's going to be able to get the kill on top of Bane. Now Time Hunter comes up. Will Time be able to pop the Ravage? The answer is no because it's on cooldown right now. Legion throws himself with a nice little overwhelming odds and continues to runs away. And now we got Roshan. This is a really weird fight. It's just very spread out right now. We got the team finally concentrating on one focal point, and I think it's a bad thing. The closer they get to 8 seconds right now, the worse it's going to get. Time to Ravage will be coming through here in a few seconds. Ancient Burst ulti going to come through as well. Sustained team fight about to be officially initiated. Ravage does come through. Anti-Mage gives himself an easy kill on top of Razor. Now he needs to go toe-to-toe with Weaver. And Weaver doing so much damage with that freaking Rapier. Going to be forcing Anti-Mage to run back, and now Weaver in a little bit of trouble. 4 stats forward. Sakuchi's not going to be up here for quite a while because it's not available. Anti-Mage just might lose his life. Weaver going to be able to get the kill on top of him. Easy relocate away as well. Oh man, this guy's relocated back like 2 feet away. But anyways, it's going to be going down though from the Weaver's right click, and it's pretty much Weaver's game right now. He's just going to be able to kill both these guys. He's getting slowed, of course, by Ancient Apparition. Slow, but it's really about it. Oh man, Ancient Apparition goes down. Ultra kill for Weaver. Will he get a Rampage? Is the big question. But are you going to get a Rampage? Milia looks like you will be the Rampage of the day. He will be the one to die. He can drop some Plague War jukes. He may be able to run around the corner, but looks like he's not going to be the truth. Rampage goes out for Weaver. Easy kill is easy. Life is easy when you have a Rapier. And he can actually go for Roche by himself. Like, Wuss is there to help him out with his HP. He has buyback. I actually think did he buy back? Well, I could tell if it showed this freaking graph I'm looking for, but no, it doesn't. Anyway, buyback does come through immediately from my Anti-Mage. He wants to contest this Roshan. He doesn't want Weaver to have any layaway at all. Good buyback. Forces Weaver all the way back to base because Weaver does not want to lose this Rapier. Now Anti-Mage is going to go ahead and just casually take on Roshan. Easy bash. Easy life. Got pings on the main map as well. The rating do affect the Legion Commander plus the Anti-Mage going to the Roach Pit. Aegis does go towards Anti-Mage. Very smart choice. Legion Commander has herself a Hellen's Halberd. We haven't seen her change just that much just yet. BKB would be nice for her as well, just to make sure she can at least get rid of some of the magic damage coming her way, specifically from the Ravage. That's really the only thing is really going to be useful for. Going back to rest items though, I mentioned before that Venomancer does have himself a AC, which is a fantastic item to have. Basically, it helps you push lanes. It also gives Anti-Mage a lot of extra damage because he does have that. Sorry, because the negative armor will help his right click out. And also on top of that, it gives Anti-Mage a little bit extra armor to be more survivable versus somebody like Weaver. Of course, that's kind of really doesn't matter much when you have Rapier. Like the amount of damage that you mitigate with a Rapier is higher, but it still doesn't matter. The damage coming in is still really high. Let's see, we got Weaver plus Wisp playing best bros forever. Rapier boosted travel plus a Mjolnir. Weaver's hitting pretty darn hard. He's working on what looks to be a butterfly so he can get that evasion. Will that force Anti-Mage to get an MKB? Is the big question. I think it may. A-Blaze is probably going to be his primary item, so he can just drop his ult on top of Weaver, pops Link Sphere, and then drop his stun on top of him and easily kill him. It will be a nice little combination. I think Anti-Mage can take Weaver down fast enough. But then again, Weaver is level 25, so his ulti officially costs 0 mana, so Weaver should always be able to use his ulti, no matter what, as long as he's not, of course, under the effects of some CC. Ancient Apparition ulti is also going to play a factor now, that he has an Aghanim Scepter, which does make sustained team fights a lot more dangerous for Denal to fight in. But the thing about it is that Ancient Apparition has been waiting so long, or hasn't really been able to find the good angles to actually hit people earlier on. That doesn't really matter. Like, by the time he uses it, the fight's over anyway, and everybody on the now will have enough HP to survive at this point in the game. If he can use it at the beginning of a team fight, though, it will be devastating because it forces the now to make the decision: do we commit to this fight and possibly lose everybody because Ancient Apparition ult, or do we just back away and let them get a little bit more ground? And the more ground you give NYI, the more worse your base gets, because so far they've lost 2 sets of racks right now, and there haven't really been many people pushing stuff for Anti-Mage. Just lost 2 sets of racks essentially, and it's getting to the point where the gold graph is really getting. Oh man, it's back to the 0 mark. So it's gonna be literally Weaver's farm versus Anti-Mage's farm. Of course, Weaver has a lot of farm right now, but he's really the only one carrying his team. Time Hunter dropping his ult. Razor not really being too terribly useful. He has a sheep stick, so actually I take it back. He has a lot of usefulness, but all he has really is a sheep stick. The pings do come around the corner though. They see the Weaver. Weaver going to go ahead and force himself through. Would we get anything? I don't think the answer is yes. We got BKB getting pumped immediately by Razor, and they're going to go for something. I heard the relocate game coming out as well. We got the ulti coming out top of Legion Commander. Ravage comes off for time. It's a little bit too far away. They're going to be able to get the kill on top of Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage will be the first one to die. Aegis does get popped. Meanwhile, teamfight does continue through. I'm getting a whole bunch of lag on my part. My apologies, guys, but we see more team fights happening. Anti-Mage coming back to the fight. Legion Commander coming around the corner as well. She will be able to get herself an easy duel. Kills the Tidehunter. Everybody on the side now do officially go down, except for Weaver. And Weaver does not want to die right now. Taking a nice little chunk of damage coming out from Ancient Burst ult. Plus the Venomancer ult. And Vino has an Axe. Yes, he does have an Axe. So Weaver, at least he'll be able to heal it up. It looks like the top set of Rexes will be going down. Are the buybacks ready is the big question. The answer is probably not. I think everybody who just died was pretty much broke. Legion Commander, the only one on the map with buyback. And it looks like MYI just might win this game based on the simple fact that they won that big team fight. And the Mega Creeps do come through. Denial will have quite a bit to fight back from. Actually, Anti-Mage is going to say, no bro, let's do this. They're going to go ahead and take the Raxus down. Take the middle towers down as well. TPs do come out to defend. GGs do come through as well. Bane going to go ahead and help his team tap out. They're just going to go ahead and end it there. That's going to be it for the game, guys. That is more or less, I say what we expected. I mean, the early game I thought was a lot more in favor, of course, for the Radiant squad or Denial on the Radiant. But it looks like the late game is really where it mattered. It got past that point where it just didn't matter what Weaver could do. Weaver built a Rapier. It seemed like a last-ditch effort, but Anti-Mage, I don't know what to say about it. Anti-Mage has a Manta style, plus a heart, plus Spiritual Travel and a Basher. That's really all he really needs. It took him a while to get a freaking Battle Fury, but hey, it doesn't really matter when you get the items and you make the results happen, guys. It doesn't matter just as long as the results come through. So anyway, that's going to be it for this game, guys. My name is Coldblue. I support you guys this game in the Join Dota League. This is, MY Insanity versus Denial Esports. Denial Esports, I think they dropped 2 games. It's the second game they dropped. So MY are going to be the ones to advance as far as taking all the points from this one. So kudos to them. Kudos to the Denial, of course, for putting up a beautiful defense, and also for having that very nice Rapier play, because you don't see Rapiers all the time. So anywho, hope you guys enjoy the game. If you guys want to check me out on my other stuff, I have my YouTube page, which is youtube.com/coolbluedota. That's CULBLUDOTA. Go check it out. It's my YouTube channel where I post all my casts. I do random podcasts and other things, and it's fun and yay, woo. Anywho, I'm not going to bore you guys too much with the details. The main thing is, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and, well, as always, I'll see you guys whenever.